Brand loyalty. It's a very important thing in Hollywood, of course. The entertainment industry is always trying to find ways to get you to love their stuff and to show it to the world, whether it's t-shirts as a billboard or whether it's even the farthest level of brand loyalty that is tattooing that cartoon character to yourself permanently. When it comes to Halloween, though, we can find out some very interesting things. It's not just a holiday for spooking and trick-or-treating, no. It's a time to find out who you want to be for 6 hours, and perhaps even more importantly, who does your child want to be for 6 hours? Now, we're taking a look at the list of the top Halloween costumes for 2023. And it turns out, yep, you guessed it, some of those main franchises we've been talking about, they're nowhere on the list. Hello folks, welcome back. Happy day to every one of you out there. We hope that you are having a meaningful and joyful time wherever you are and whatever you're doing. We are having a more joyful time because Michelle of Force of Light has rejoined the channel to talk with us about this very fun topic. Michelle, welcome back.
Yes, always good to be here. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. And Michelle, before we get into this, let me just ask you, is it okay to ask you what you might be dressing up as in the next week or so for all the fun of trick-or-treating?
It is okay. I might be dressing up as one Netflix character. I'm going with the Netflix version of the character, one Wednesday Addams.
Ooh, Wednesday Addams. All right. Well, let's see if your character shows up on these lists. We've got a couple of articles because we do not want to be biased here on this channel. No, we avoided it all at every cost. But this out of CNN Entertainment by Leah Asmelash. This year's most popular and relevant Halloween costumes. And we're just going to go through these pretty quickly, folks. If you want to read the articles in their full, please do so by clicking on the links in the video description down below. First of all, it's no surprise, Barbie is the big one this year. Everybody wants to be Barbie. Well, at least the girls do. And so Barbie, I think we're going to see many Barbies out there. Oppenheimer,
okay,
kind of shocking to me.
I want to make a prediction there.
Yeah.
I think especially across college campuses, and you're going to see a lot of Kens.
Ooh, a lot of Kens. You know what? I'll agree with you on that. I will agree with you. And no Skippers, unfortunately. Poor Skipper.
The frat houses is going to be Kens, is what I would guess.
I believe it. Oppenheimer, that surprises me. I kind of doubt it. I just don't know how you're going to do. No, you know what? I don't. I'm not going with you there, CNN. I don't think Oppenheimer's a big player. Spider-Man, though, across the Spider-Verse, I can definitely see Spider-Man being a big one, and that's great for Disney. Folks, there's not going to be a lot of greats for Disney, though. Hang tight. And we're not trying to be biased or mean or negative about Disney. We're just saying, enjoy this while you can, Disney fans, because Spider-Man is one of the only things you're going to find on these lists that is owned by the House of Mouse. Here's yours, Wednesday Addams. And Wednesday Addams, of course, is one that you don't have to necessarily go to a spirit store or get onto Amazon. You can do this on your own to a large degree. What do you think, Michelle? Are you going to be buying the official costume of Wednesday Addams, or are you going to be doing a one that you make yourself?
I'm going to let them see that on our live stream next Monday.
Oh, the suspense, the suspense. And folks, don't forget that I will be going on camera for the very first time during the Pro Show this Thursday, our Spooktacular edition. Of course, I will be in costume, but I'll be going on camera, and who knows, maybe we can even talk Jonas J. Campbell into doing so. We'll find out. Now, let's go to NPR. This one by Katie Klein says, it's a pink Halloween. Here are some of the most popular costumes of 2023. What do we have on this? Well, it says consumers are dropping more money than ever on Halloween, with this year's total Halloween spending expected to reach a record $12.2 billion. Now, that's important because as we look at the list, remember that we're making more money than ever if you're on the list, which means you're losing more money than ever if you couldn't get on the list. And here's what they say. Of course, they've got Barbie at the top. But then, according to Usolino, Spirit Halloween is looking at Wednesday and the Addams Family and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. All right, so that's very interesting. The most popular costume this year for children is Spider-Man. So kids are going to be Spiderman. That's good for Disney. Once again, Spider-Man. But then here's the other one. We see a huge rise in Bluey. It's a very popular show, and it's also geared towards parents, too. So we have it for the kids, and we have it for the parents. So no surprise there that Spider-Man, that Bluey, Barbie, and Wednesday are again being listed as the top ones. Michelle, have you watched Bluey yet at all? Have you seen that show?
I have not, and my nieces and nephews are kind of out of that age group to where I probably won't anytime soon.
You know, here's the funny thing about Bluey though. Uh, I was explaining this to an older gentleman today, not old, but older, who, his kids are not in that range either. And I said, the interesting thing about Bluey is it's a show that is aimed at preschoolers. It's cartoon dogs,
Mm.
and yet it is sitting in the top 4, top 5 of anything on streaming every week. I was like, when's the last time that a preschool show was up there, in the pantheon of Cheers and The Office and Big Bang Theory? I mean, it's beating Big Bang Theory. It's beating all the stuff. So not surprising they'll have costumes. All
No,
right,
I actually saw Charlie Cox, Daredevil himself, dressed up as Bluey recently. I don't know if you saw that.
well, those SAG-AFTRA rules now where they can't dress up as, a great number of things. They're having to get creative, I suppose. But, Michelle, the other thing is that Bluey is not owned by Disney. It appears on Disney Plus, but they license that over there. So when Bluey is on a list, folks, don't be confused. It's not a Disney property. Disney's not making money off those those Bluey costumes. All right, here we go out of USA Today by James Powell. Here's the most popular costumes they have, and they gave us a list. Let's take a look at this list. Oh, and let me say this too. At the top of the list, Michelle, it says, in what may be the upset of the year, Taylor Swift does not feature in the top 20, landing at 22. I've got a thought on that. We'll come back to it in a moment because I think that's misleading. We'll explain why.
Yes, yeah.
Number 1 is Barbie. Number 2, Princess. Not Disney princess, not a particular princess, just princess. Number 3, Spider-Man. There's a good one for Disney. Number 4, Witch. Number 5, Fairy. Number 6, Wednesday Addams. Number 7, Dinosaur. It's a dinosaur. Number 8, Cowboy. Yeehaw. Number 9, a Ninja. And number 10 is a Bunny Rabbit. So those are your top 10. Now, we're not going to go into couples and babies and dogs because I don't really know how helpful those are. But these are the top 10 according to USA Today. Now, what is interesting is that in the past, these were dominated by Disney properties. So you may recall recently years when you were giving out candy and the Avengers just kept showing up.
Mm-hmm.
You might recall times when Star Wars characters just kept showing up, little Darth Vaders. There are very few. I mean, other than Spider-Man, no Marvel characters being mentioned. There's definitely no Ahsoka, no Star Wars. Back to the issue of Taylor Swift, though, Michelle. Take a look at this. You sent this to me prior to recording. According to PopCrave, Taylor Swift is the most popular celebrity Halloween costume of 2023. And here's what I'm going to say on what I think is happening there.
Mm-hmm.
I think that USA Today is looking at costume sales. And I think that in reality, most people who want to dress up as Taylor Swift are probably making their own costume. I don't think they're looking for the official Taylor Swift costume you have to have from the Era store. What do you think?
Oh, I totally agree. I mean, you've seen that all during this tour, or when I went to the movie, the Eras Tour movie recently. Yes, girls just have their own version of a Taylor Swift thing. So I think they can't really quite they don't really quite know how to read that one fully.
So your channel in the past has been highly dedicated to covering Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
There are no mentions whatsoever of Star Wars on any of these lists whatsoever. Now, here's the question about that. We have watched as Star Wars has decreased greatly in terms of every rubric we know of to determine if it's popular anymore. This, I think, is very hard for the diehards to argue against, those who still hang on to hope. When nobody cares about dressing up as Luke, Leia, Han, Ahsoka, Rey, Chewie, Vader, Kylo Ren, none of them, right? There's no Rose Ticos coming to your house this year. Michelle, what does it say about where our culture is going? The list that we've seen, these top items.
Yeah, I mean, that's just that's not very good for Star Wars there, that it hasn't made the top 10. Or did you see, was there a top 20? I don't think it was in the top 20 on that one.
It mentioned it, but it didn't list it. So it only listed top 10 for us.
Yeah, I think it just shows like other interest because I mean, I guess like really nothing, Disney hasn't put anything out that would interest the younger crowd. And then so if the older, if the millennials aren't really showing the original trilogy to their kids, then they're not going to really want to care about that either. But if you pull up that one list, the one we saw before Taylor Swift, something kind of struck me looking at that list that I want to point out. Okay, so we have number 1, Barbie. That makes sense. Biggest movie of the year. But number 2 and number 5 stick out to me for a reason, because this again shows what we're talking about with Disney. Princess.
Right, it's generic.
Yes, girls love to be a princess. Well, what princess movie came out this year that historically has made tons of money for
and
Disney?
why is it not there? That's exactly right.
Yes.
Call out the name though, Michelle. Tell the folks out there what's missing.
Yes, Little Mermaid. That should be Ariel right there. Is what that should be for the most part.
I've got a curiosity about that, Michelle.
Well, what is that?
My curiosity is, number 1, it's not on the list, so it's clearly not that popular.
Mm-hmm.
But number 2, I kind of wonder if Disney didn't put much effort behind getting out a Little Mermaid costume because they thought, you know what, let's just take the L. This is going to be even more drama if we start putting this out and there's pictures of little white girls dressed as Halle Bailey. We just get out of this. We don't want to, I mean, it was years ago there was an argument about whether little girls of lighter skin tones could dress as Moana, right? Yeah. And Aliki Cravalho had to come out, the actress who plays Moana, and say, it's okay, let them pretend, good Lord. But they didn't want to do it again.
That's pathetic. But then also, secondly, number 5, Fairy. Well, what's another movie I believe that came out this year on Disney Plus was the new Peter Pan, which has
You're bringing up nightmares for Disney now. That's a nightmare.
which has arguably the most famous fairy, Tinkerbell.
That's right.
So there's 2 spots in the top 10 that should be able to be filled by Disney, but now people are just going generic because they didn't really make those 2 characters cool in the last year.
That's right. And look at Cowboy, why is that not Woody? Why is that not Woody from Toy Story? There are a great number of generic slots. And by the way, these are not all generics. You've got Wednesday Addams in there. You've got Barbie in there. These used to feature Disney characters. Now, folks are apparently going for the generic versions of those same characters, the archetypes that Disney has abandoned. And you're exactly right with Little Mermaid. You're exactly right with Tinkerbell not being there. Now it's Princess. Now it's Fairy. And yet Barbie is still there. Michelle, the other thing, and it's not in these lists, but we've covered it in the past, there are 2 other entities that also are being heavily featured this year at Halloween. They are Super Mario Brothers, anything related to Super Mario Brothers. So you're going to see Toad, Mario, Luigi, Bowser, Princess Peach, all of those you'll see on Halloween this year. Also Sonic the Hedgehog characters in the franchise. We're seeing those sell quite a bit more. And those are a little bit trickier because it's harder to look like Sonic than it is as a plumber. But you're going to see a lot of little kids dress as that stuff. I'm afraid that you're not going to see very many relative to what we're used to, Captain Americas and Hulks and kids with lightsabers. You'll see some, but they're not at the top of the list. And I think if you're looking, folks, for the way that you yourself, right, because you tune into these channels, you hear our thoughts, you see these websites, but you yourself can test this out now. Because the interesting thing about Halloween costumes is it creates a binary choice. And Michelle, you and I talked about this before the video. Not only does it show brand loyalty, but it also creates a binary choice where you collapse the rank ordering down to this is my favorite and this is what I want to be, and these are the things I don't want to be, and they're everything else. So you're going to get to see what everybody's favorite for this year is, and all the little kids, what their favorites are, and it's going to be on display. So folks out there, if you want to find out where is the culture in your area, pay very close attention to what little kids are dressed up as, and you'll figure out very quickly. Bluey's hot, Mario's hot, Sonic's hot, Marvel, Star Wars are not. Michelle, what do you expect to see when you're out and about? What are you looking to see?
I do expect to see a whole lot of Barbie.
Yeah, every girl. No, not every girl, but yes, plenty of pink.
Yes, and I would say with Barbie, even going up into like college age, you're going to get both male and female going Barbie.
Is there a cutoff age, Michelle? Is there an age where it's time to not be Barbie anymore, or can all ladies of all ages be Barbie?
I say all ages can be Barbie.
Go for it.
I mean, why not? It's one night. Go for it, ladies.
That's right.
Do whatever you want. And then I do expect to see a lot of Wednesday as far. Yeah, I think you're gonna see a lot of Wednesday. And I didn't think of Mario. I bet that's where the little boys dress up a lot more as this year.
Oh yeah.
Or like
Oh
Mario.
yeah. I hope when they show up, they've got little baskets for their trick or treat bags, that are like little mushrooms. You take the top off and put the candy down in there. Michelle, before we wrap up today, let's have a fun one though. Tell me what's your favorite candy to receive on Halloween, and what's your least favorite? What should people never give away?
Okay. So my favorite to receive. What would be my favorite to receive? Let me think of this.
I'm gonna say for me, I'm gonna cheat. I'm gonna say 2. Okay.
Okay.
Snickers, and then the cookies and cream Twix bars are awesome.
Okay.
So now, I'm not a candy person though. I don't like. Some people are pulled to cheat with candy, and candy doesn't do that to me. Ice cream is my. I got to stay away from ice cream. I don't keep that sin away. Candy doesn't do it, but Snickers and cookies and cream Twix. For you, what do you say?
Okay, I'm gonna go with one, but there's a reason why. My favorite candy bar ultimately is Snickers. I consider Snickers like the Apple of candy, but it's just basic. It's good. But I have a candy drawer at my house for when guests come over, and I always keep Snickers, so that's not really special to me. So I'm gonna have to go with Kit Kat because I kind of enjoy a Kit Kat, but I never buy them.
Give me a break. Give me a break. All right. And candy that you would never give out to a child, not because it's bad for them, but because it's just bad. It's no good.
Oh, that hard like sugar candy I never wanted that as a kid. No one wants that candy. It's awful.
What about licorice? What are you doing with licorice?
Don't
do the licorice.
No, don't
Candy
do that.
corn. Everybody's got an opinion on candy corn. What do you think?
I never wanted it. I just wanted sheer chocolate as a kid.
See, I can do like 1 or 2 pieces of candy corn a year just to remind me that candy corn exists, and then I don't need it again for the next 12 months, and we'll 1 or 2 pieces will do. That's fine with me.
If I never had candy corn again, I would be okay.
I've got to say too, on the actual the candy bars that people actually eat this stuff, Almond Joy. I have never understood what is pleasant about Almond Joy candy bars. I don't get it at all. I don't know.
I can like it, but see, that's what I'm never gonna buy. But if someone gave me, I might eat it.
I got a thing against coconuts, I suppose. I don't know. No, I like coconuts. All right, folks, and if you really want to make Pro happy, please stock your trick-or-treats and give away to your trick-or-treaters Ghirardelli. They're not a sponsor of this video, but I sure would like it if I stop at your house. If my kiddos come up to your doorstep, fill their bags full of Ghirardelli, and the darker the chocolate, the better. All right, talking about better. There's some better and better and better content coming out of Force of Light Entertainment that you need to subscribe to. Michelle, what are you going to be covering soon?
Yeah, well, we've got some first-time watching reactions. We already did our Shaun of the Dead one, had a lot of fun with that. And then we may have what is considered one of the greatest horror movies of all time.
Easy there.
I know, that word gets me. And that being The Shining. That will either be out this week or next week. So yeah.
The horror.
Yes. So definitely see what we think about that. And then Natalie, my co-host, my sister, had never seen Ghostbusters. So we watched that. Oh my gosh.
Oh, that's a must. Okay, what did you think of Ghostbusters? Has that come out? Is that public yet?
It's not. It will be coming out.
We won't say that.
Even Halloween. But yeah, well, I'd already seen it. I think it's such a cute, I hate to use that word for that movie, but it's really cute. I think
it's the greatest dry humor movie of all time, right? There's different types of comedy, but there are just lines in there that go over the head of many people. Egon especially has these lines where you just go, that is superb that anybody thought of that, So I love it.
Yeah, there's a lot of great lines in that one.
Oh my gosh. Yes, I love them. All right, Gremlins. Have you watched Gremlins yet on your channel?
Man, I hate that I did. I saw that in theaters in 2020.
That's okay. You can still, but did you review it on the channel? Have you done it?
I've not reviewed it.
Okay. We got to get Gremlins on. Not this Halloween maybe, but next Halloween. And who knows, maybe it's a Christmas movie like Die Hard. The folks out there, when I did a poll last year, and this was like a 2-week poll on Twitter/X where we tried to figure out what was the best Christmas movie of all time. Die Hard, I believe, came in at #1, which shocked me, but There are some diehard fans of Die Hard out there.
Well,
Anyway.
if you are a Die Hard fan, go ahead and look at our channel because we already have our reaction for Die Hard.
Fantastic. And there's going to be no shortage of holiday movies, I think, coming out for reactions. I don't know what you're going to find for Thanksgiving, but folks, make sure you check out Force of Light Entertainment for sure. Also, if you enjoy content like this, consider clicking the like button, share, subscribe, and when you click it, you do indeed stick it to the algorithms. It's the notification bell. Drop a comment down below. Let us know, what candy do you loathe and what candy do you love? And tell us, too, what do you think about these Halloween costumes? Do you think it's real? Do you think it's not when it comes to figuring out what people are wanting to shout out about in terms of media content for the year? Wherever you are and whatever you're doing, keep learning, keep growing, and keep staying spooktacular. Have fun, folks.
This Halloween's definitely gonna be something.
Even after dead franchises like Marvel are like zombies, rotting corpses of their former glory. Dead, but still animated.
I wonder, are there any franchises with some afterlife qualities?
One Piece is almost vampiric, as it's sucking the life out of the competition. Yeah.
DC is kind of like Frankenstein's monster, with bits and pieces from everywhere and nothing is consistent.
I'm the ghost of Star Wars.
You know what would be a real treat this Halloween? Checking out WDW Pro. He's got all the sweet news on his Thursday live show at 5 p.m. Eastern.
Not to mention, his daily videos are a real treat.
Guys, I'm the ghost of Star Wars. Get it?
You know, we should go and make sure we're subscribed.
Guys, I'm the ghost of Star Wars.
And while we're at it, we'll ring that bell to make sure we're notified.
Great, let's go. Because, well, we actually care about that. Let's go.
Fact. Star Wars is not dead. It's haunting the staffs of Disney Plus.